Hi you guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Patience. To my existing subscribers, welcome back. If this is your first time here, be sure to click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can continue to indulge in the Haute Bella experience. In today's video, you guys, I am trying out some new complexion products. I picked these up during the most recent sales event from Sephora, so I have hauled these products for you guys, and that is the Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation and the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer. And I used both of these products to create this gorgeous complexion today. These are soft matte products from Nars. My skin type is normal to dry, so you guys will see in the video how I am adding a little bit of extra spritz or moisture into this look in order for it to work for my particular skin type. I also think that maybe this shade, I picked this shade up in Morea, which is medium deep 2.3, and I think that maybe this shade may be just a little bit too warm for me, but I do love the finish of this soft matte foundation. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So if you guys would like to see how I created this gorgeous complexion using these complexion products from Nars, then keep watching. So my eyes are already done, and I am going to be getting into my complexion. I'm going to start off with the concealer as I normally do. I am in the shade Caramel in this Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Caramel is the same shade that I use in the Nars, I think it's called Creamy Radiant Concealer. So I'm using the same shade here in this Soft Complete Concealer. And this is what this concealer looks like. This is a little bit different for me because I'm so used to having a liquid or even a more creamier type of concealer. So I'm going to have to go in with a different type of brush, I think, just to get it out of this container onto my face. So yeah, I'm going to have to switch up my brushes. So normally I would use this type of brush to tap out my concealer. This is a Sigma F60 brush, so I normally use that to tap out my concealer under my eye. So I think I want to use a more flatter style brush. I could use my MAC 242, but I think it's going to be a little bit too small. So I think I'm going to try using this brush right here. I don't have a name on this brush, or the label is no longer on this brush, but I think it's going to work. And if that doesn't work, I've also pulled out this brush as well to maybe use this to dip into the container and get it in my under eye area. So we're going to experiment with this. This is my first time using it, so let's play with it. I'm going to start off using this flat style brush. So I'm going to kind of tap this under my eye at this point, especially in the areas where I know I would normally need a little bit more coverage. This is a little different for me because it seems like it's taking me a little bit longer than it normally would, I think, for me to get my concealer done using this smaller brush, but I don't know what other brush to use right now. It's not coming to mind for me, so I'm going to use what I have here. So I'm going to continue on with this brush. It is doing a good job at allowing me to target specific areas for concealing, you know, instead of just concealing the whole general area using this smaller brush. If I need to conceal right here, this spot right there, it does it. Okay, I will definitely say this is giving me some real coverage for sure. And it took just a little bit of this, just a little bit. I think I want to go over this though with my sponge just to smooth it out. But using the brush, I think, really allowed me to be able to get the most coverage out of this concealer. And just smoothing it out with this sponge is making it flawless. I'm going to continue on applying the concealer in all the other areas that you would normally want to highlight and or conceal. That's down the bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, in my mouth area a little bit as well. I've used the brush to apply this concealer, and now I'm going to go back in with my sponge, and I am just going to tap it out just to make sure that it is smooth. I'm using my Danessa Myricks Power Cream Bronzer. This is in the shade Deep, and I'm going to do some cream contouring. My concealing and my cream contouring is done, and now it's time for me to move into my foundation, and I'm going to be using this foundation. This is the Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation, and I am in the shade Morea. This is medium deep 2.3. And I have not yet set my under eyes, you guys. And I will say that even though this concealer is a soft matte concealer, it's not settling too much or doesn't look too harsh in my under eye area, in my opinion. What do you guys think? I haven't set it yet. I think I'm going to set it, but for right now, it's not looking too bad. I'm really liking that. But for my foundation, this is what the packaging looks like. It has this little squeezy tube on it there. And I'm going to put this on my palette. And you can see what the consistency of this is. So I'm going to take, I guess, about that much. It's really not going to take too much foundation since I've concealed first. That's one of the things I like about concealing first, is that it means that I can use less foundation. So I run less of a risk of looking too cakey. And I'm going to use just a regular type of foundation type brush. I'm just going to dip this brush into the product on my palette here, just moving the brush around to make sure that the bristles of the brush are covered with the product. Just about like that, making sure that the product's on there. And I'm going to start to apply this. And I'm hoping that I got the right shade match for myself. I color matched myself in the store, so it should be pretty much spot on. Going back in here some more and just adding additional foundation in the areas where I need it. Not sure how I am liking my color match. I Again, I did the color match right there in Sephora, and I know the Sephora lighting can be kind of wonky sometimes, but I was feeling pretty confident at the moment. But this may be off for me a little bit. It does give nice coverage. It really does have a nice coverage. I have normal to dry skin. I do like the finish. I like the soft matte finish. It's not too matte, and it's not radiant either, but you know, it gives me a good vibe. You know, I like how it makes my skin look, how it looks on my skin. Again, I think that maybe my shade is a little bit off. I'm looking a little bit warm, but I think I'm just going to continue on. I'm going to finish off my face. We're going to make this work. So yeah, I'll just have to bring this down on my neck a little bit more than I normally would. I'm going to go ahead and set my under eye area. I'm going to use my RCMA No Color Powder to do that. And instead of using my sponge as I normally do, I think I'm going to use just a fluffy brush to set the under eye area. This is a soft matte concealer. It is matte. The word matte is in there. I have to remember that. And I don't want my under eye areas to dry out too much. So I'm just going to take my sponge here, and I'm just going to just tap a little bit more to make sure if there are any creases that may have formed in there, that I tap them out before I actually set. But I think it did pretty good. I don't see too many areas where the concealer has settled into my fine lines. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this set. I'm just going to gently just set this under eye area. Just a little bit of powder, not too much. Under eyes are set, and I don't think I'm going to set the rest of my face. I don't think this needs to be set. Not for me anyway. If I were to set it, maybe a really light set, maybe. You know what? I'm going to just do just a really light set. I'm going to continue on with my RCMA No Color Powder, but I'm talking about super light. And the only reason why I'm going to do that is because I have some other powder products that I want to use. So I'm just dabbing just a little powder on this, just a little bit. That's all this needs. And I think that just to settle it down so it doesn't look quite so powdery, I'm going to add a little bit of my Beauty Elixir spray. This is from Caudalie. And I'm going to use this just to take a little bit of the powdery look away before I move forward. It's a really fine mist. I'm going to use some of my Sweetest Cocoa blush from MAC. You guys have seen this in a few videos here recently. So I'm going to carry on with this because I think this is a really pretty blush. And I want to use all of this up so I can buy another one. Super pretty. I'm going to add some bronzer into this look, and I'm using this bronzer from MAC. This is in the shade Blunt. This is an oldie but goodie from MAC, and this is really a pretty bronzing shade. I'm going to add a little highlighter to this look. I'm going to be using this highlighter from Vesca. This is in the shade Dream, and this is what she looks like. Very pretty. Now that I've got all of my powders and everything down, I think I want to spritz this down one more time. I think I'm going to use my MAC Fix Plus this time. And I'm also going to use some of my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter Setting Spray. So I'm going to use both of these, and I'll just take my time, right, just letting them both dry down. I know that this may seem like quite a few steps to take, but again, this is a soft matte foundation, and I know that my skin is normal and sometimes leans to the dry side, so I have to be careful so that this gorgeous complexion doesn't end up having dry patches in it. So I'm going to go ahead and get my Fix Plus applied and my Charlotte Tilbury. It is now time for lips, so I am going to line my lips with this lip pencil from MAC. This is in the shade Cork. And then I'm going to use one of the lip products from Pat McGrath Labs. And this is the Lip Fetish Divinyl Lip Shine. And this is in the shade Flesh 07. And this look is done. I am so glad to finally have a Nars foundation in my foundation collection. I have wanted a Nars foundation for quite some time, but I could never really find my shade. The finish of this soft matte foundation is gorgeous. It is just what it claims to be. It's not matte matte, it's not radiant matte. It is just enough to give your skin that soft, blurred, matted type of look without it being dry looking or cakey looking. I really love it. And the concealer is a definite win. I love the coverage of this concealer. It is definitely a full coverage concealer, and it did not make my under eye area look too dry, to my surprise. So I really like the combination of using the foundation and the concealer together, and I'm going to continue to use them. You guys are going to see these complexion products again for sure. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye.